Welcome to the webinar. Hey, Andrea.
Hi, Doc.
How are you doing today?
Great.
All right. I see your Christmas tree in the background there.
Yep.
So you're all ready for the holiday.
That's right.
What'd you get me?
Nothing yet.
I like the word yet. Well, good morning, everyone. And my name is Dr. Kurt Fisnick. We're live when we're on the air. Got my microphone turned on.
I see that.
Andrea, you've been having a good week so far?
I have. It's only the second day, but so far it's good.
So far, so good.
That's right.
I like to hear that. You've been sizzling. I see your sizzle flag.
I have. I just took a bunch of supplements and I'm all
All right. One of the things that a lot of people they're worried about is they're worried about having issues with cognitive function. Did you know that?
Yeah, I think a lot of people are worried about that.
They say that the most terrifying thought for people over the age of 50, it's not a heart attack, a stroke, or even cancer. According to a recent poll, they said that most people over the age of 50 worried about losing their mind, losing their memory.
I've had some results from taking some of our supplements and getting my memory back. And what the thing is, I didn't realize how badly it was. And I also thought that it was just due to my age and there's nothing that could be done about it.
Yeah, so it's interesting when you start reading about it. You know, they say that in a lot of cases we can restore memory back by a huge amount.
Oh, yeah.
For all of you that are on the call today, listen to us live, if you could give us the old thumbs up, the smiley face, share this, let people know. As we look for the new year that's coming here in just a couple of weeks, my thought is let's start talking about how do you achieve optimum health.
That's a good thought.
Yeah. And I thought today one of the things that we would cover is cognitive health. How do you restore your memory? How do you save your cognitive abilities and basically boost your brain power?
That's good. I just wrote down a bunch of notes about that.
Well, I'm glad you got a pen and paper handy because I'm going to give you a test.
Oh, no.
I'm going to give you 3 words and I want you to repeat them back with me, okay?
Okay.
Let's go. I'm going to pick one of the list here. I'm going to go with village, kitchen, baby. If you could repeat them back to me.
Village, kitchen, baby.
Village, kitchen, baby. Okay. Now what I want you to do is actually you passed the test, right? So it would say that you don't have any dementia.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, because short-term memory is the first thing to go.
I believe, and most people start to recognize that probably in their late 40s.
Well, let's try another 3 words. Just see how you do. Maybe you just were good with those words.
Okay.
Let's go with apple penny table.
Apple penny cable.
There you go. Well, you passed again, so you're non-demented.
Well, some people might disagree.
So let's just say, let's go to step 2 of the test, right? Let's say that you had trouble remembering one of those 3 words. And so what I want you to do now is I want you to take a piece of paper and I want you to draw a circle. And on that circle, I want you to draw a clock. Draw all 12 numbers in their right positions. If you could do that quickly for me.
Okay.
Tick, tock, tick, tock. You got that done?
I do.
All right. Now I want you to draw the hands of the clock, and I want you to make it 10 minutes after 11.
You better do 3 o'clock because I already drew them in.
10 minutes after 11. So what I want you to do now is, now that you've drawn the hands on 10 minutes after 11, because I can't see it, I'm just going to ask you, where do you have the small hand of the clock?
Small hand of the clock is by the 11, a little bit after the 11.
And where's the big hand?
At 2.
What were the 3 words I gave you?
Cable, apple, forgot the other one.
Oh, you forgot one of the words. It was penny.
I only remember Ben Franklin's, so.
But your clock was good, so you're still normal. You're non-demented. If you recalled only 1 to 2, but your clock was abnormal, then you'd have the start of dementia. Isn't that just an easy test to run?
It is.
So you can, if you want to test somebody, you can simply do that test. What did it take? 3 minutes? 5 minutes?
Couple.
Yeah. It doesn't take very long. And the whole thing is that if we look at the big picture of everything, Andrew, if we look at the big picture, that's what most people are worried about. They're not worried about cancer. They're not worried about heart attacks. They're not, well, they are, but Not as much as they're worried about memory.
Right, because I think most people don't believe there's a solution.
A lot of people, they just say, oh, it's just aging. It's just part of aging.
That's what I thought.
That's what a lot of people are taught, that, oh, it's just normal aging.
Mm-hmm.
If we can give this test to people that are aging and we can find out, how's your memory? We want to do different things like, how do we improve so that they have better thinking? How do we improve so they have deeper focus, quicker recall, long-term memory? How do we keep the nerves, the blood vessels in the brain at peak capacity? What about even boosting the IQ score, cutting out the plaque that builds up in the brain, these tau, they call them tau formation.
Mm-hmm.
And they say that once you turn 65, a lot of people are missing key critical brain nutrients.
Yeah, what is that? I think it's called integrative medicine. I'm not sure I have the term right, where they are using supplements and medication now to help with things. A doctor out in, I believe it's Oregon, his name's Amen, and he has the Amen Clinic there.
Yeah.
He's been doing brain scans for several years. Like, they're up to about 100,000 brain scans they've done on people. I actually have a friend who's been there and had a brain scan there.
So then what do they do with the brain scan?
They learned that there's patterns to different things going on in the brain, like if you had a head injury, if you had bipolarism, if you had schizophrenia, that type of thing. And they're supplementing. They're using supplements to improve brain health.
Yeah.
And there's also Dr. Mark Hyman out of New York, who had a big series out last year called Broken Brain. They're doing the same thing. They're supplementing to support the brain.
Well, and that, we were going to talk about that a little bit, with the Brain Vitality product that we have. What a great product. I started using this product. I've got it right here, folks. It's got a lot of different things in it. It's got citrulline. It's got a good form of magnesium. It's the magnesium threonate. And do you remember what I taught you about magnesium threonate?
No.
No? Well, maybe you are demented.
Tell me about it again. Maybe I'll get it the second time.
Okay. Well, and that's the case. A lot of times people have to be told things a couple of times. But magnesium threonate, it's a form of magnesium that they found that passes through the blood-brain barrier very easily. So it's a form of magnesium that passes through the blood-brain barrier very easily. And magnesium, they say that here in America, not just in America, but in the Western world, they're saying that we have a huge magnesium deficiency.
Yeah, I've heard that.
And so we've got the right kind of magnesium in it, and we have the amount of magnesium threonate that's going to pass into the brain. Then we've got curcuma longa, and you've heard me talking about how important curcumin is for the brain. Curcumin gets rid of, helps with inflammation. And they found that curcuma longa is one of the most active forms. It's one of the best forms of curcumin you can get.
That's something that a lot of people, isn't that the one they get out of turmeric?
Out of turmeric.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They found, I was just reading a study 2 days ago on Sunday. They said the studies are saying that if you take pepper, an extract from pepper, at the same time that you take your curcumin, it actually makes it like 1,000 times more effective.
2,000 times.
2,000 times. There you go, right? We use a form of pepper that's actually more effective than black pepper.
Oh, great.
Yeah, we use the Szechuan pepper. Oh, we have black pepper in there as well. And then we got phosphatidylserine, and we've got some bacopa, right? What other products do we find the bacopa in?
The sencha green tea.
That's one.
And I think the coffee.
Coffee, 2.
That's all I know.
The fire and iced tea, 3.
Oh, okay.
And what other product?
I don't know.
TSX.
Oh, yeah.
This has an ingredient called fenugreek. The Brain Vitality has an ingredient called fenugreek. Mm-hmm. Where have you heard about that the most? I mean, if you pay attention to nutrition, where do you hear about fenugreek the most?
Well, I've heard it in relationship to lung health.
Lung health? But the main one that I've heard about for years is working with people that have type 2 diabetes. And what do they call an Alzheimer's nowadays? A lot of researchers
it's the third diabetic.
they're saying it's type 3 diabetes because it's so closely related. And so when we're talking about nutrition for the brain, a lot of people, they'll tell me, oh yeah, I take a multivitamin. Can you get this kind of stuff in multivitamins, Andrea?
No, not at all.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Skimpy amount of nutrients that you get in most multivitamins, it doesn't keep up to anything.
Right.
And we're not even going to talk about the processing of it. Most multivitamins, they make them wrong. I was talking to the owner of the company that used to make Centrum. I don't know if he still does, but he was making Centrum, and he said they start out, they've got some good ingredients, but then they squish them together with a really high pressure hydraulic press, and they squish them together so hard that most people don't have the nutrients to actually break it apart. And they take and they coat it with an shellac.
Bugs.
Yeah, from bugs. Insect shells. That's why it's called shellac. It's only like 3% of people who can dissolve what's in those multivitamins.
Well, this is kind of gross, but I heard somebody report that the porta-johns that they rent out to people for parties and things like that, that when they go to dump them, they find everybody's supplements in the bottom of them.
Crazy, isn't it? So people are buying these supplements that are basically coming in one end, coming out the other. Most people just can't keep up with the damage. So we're going to talk about a couple other things. Another thing that happens to people that are, and by the way, they say if you're a vegetarian, you've got a lot better chance of actually have lack of nutrients for your brain.
Well, you've talked before about the fact that when you chew, of course you can chew on celery, but chewing stimulates brain function, right? What was that you said about that? And then, the other thing we didn't talk about that we have talked about recently is our H2 sachet product that's coming out. And I read that list of 27 benefits of taking in hydrogen. And one of them was promotes neurogenesis.
Yeah, it promotes neurogenesis, to make new brain cells. We're talking about the hydrogen water. So let me jump here. I'm going to probably jump back a little bit, but they're saying that a lot of people they live their diet on such a high carbohydrate type of diet. What it does is it imbalances the sugar levels. They're saying now that too much blood sugar actually damages the brain cells.
Well,
causes
not only
insulin
that,
resistance.
But going back to it being the type 3 diabetic, there's a Dr. Mary Barrett, I believe, Barnett Barrett, on YouTube. If you just put in dementia and coconut oil, you'll see a little video clip from a news channel that went and interviewed her about her husband getting dementia. And they show the clock, the thing you had me do. They show his clock when he started, and he couldn't even draw a clock. It was like scribbles.
Yep.
And she supplemented his diet with a lot of high coconut oil, and 2 months later, he could draw the clock. So it was showing improvement from providing fats for the brain to use rather than sugar. So you're either a sugar burner or a fat burner. Yeah.
Well, the coconut oil, but the other thing, and the reason I brought it up right away when I did was because of the fact that you brought up the Super H2 sticks that we're going to come out with, because they found that if you supply your brain with hydrogen right away, first thing in the morning, it's the first thing that you get to your brain. It's like it primes the pump so that the brain craves hydrogen for fuel rather than sugar.
You mean fats instead of sugar?
No, hydrogen.
It craves hydrogen?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Yeah.
Isn't that cool? So when this product comes out, it's supposed to be next week. We're supposed to have this product available. I mean, folks, I'm telling you, it's a game changer.
It is. We've talked about that before. And I mean, if you just go out and Google, benefits of drinking hydrogen water, you're going to find all kinds of information out there.
Yeah. Yep. And then on top of it, they say that, I'm just reading this study here, and it said that not enough blood flow to the brain and not enough oxygen will reduce the mental thinking memory. They say an older person's brain has 20% less blood flow than a younger person's brain.
Yeah, I would imagine that contributes to it.
Yeah. I remember when it was about 2 or 3 years ago, my mom was having some issues, and they said that her carotid arteries were 90% plugged. 90%.
That's a lot.
That's a lot. She's getting 10% of her blood flow to her brain than what she's supposed to be getting. And I was starting to notice she was having a little bit of issues, things like that. And the doctors wanted to go in and they wanted to put a stent in there, right? And you understand what a stent is.
Yeah. Basically a noodle.
Yeah, so they open it up, and but there's been no long-term studies on the effectiveness of them. They just say that it opens it up in the area that it is, but then the artery plugs up somewhere else is what the studies are showing. So I suggested to my mom to talk to the doctors, and I said, hey, before I have the surgery and they put the stents in, would you let my mom try something natural first? And we put her on the Super Omega, and we put her on, I call it a high dose of resveratrol, but I put her on 2 doses of the Eternity product per day in 90 days, in 3 months. Her arteries had opened up. I believe, if I remember back to where it was, they had opened up like to 60% open.
That was in 2 months.
3 months.
3 months. How about that?
And in 9 months, they were back to being 70% open. So they went from 90% plugged to 30% plugged.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and we can't say that our products that cure or anything like that. All we can really say is that the resveratrol has a lot of studies on it. And we can make we can't make medical claims on our product, but we can take and we can show you the studies. And that's basically what it did. And then the doctors canceled the surgery.
That's great. And so many people don't realize that if they just give themselves a little bit of time, they could save them a lot of body disruption from surgery.
Yeah.
By utilizing something natural.
Yeah, and the resveratrol, the studies on resveratrol, it indicates that it works with the SIRT1 gene. And the SIRT1 gene, the function of the SIRT1 gene is to repair DNA, damaged DNA.
We all need some of that, right? Because of those free radicals.
Yeah, our DNA is getting damaged all the time.
I have a question. Did you give your mother the 4 Restore also?
We didn't have it at the time.
Oh, well, hey, bonus, folks. Now we have 4 Restore.
Yeah, we have 4 Restore. So somebody asked me yesterday, actually, our friend Rennie asked me yesterday, what would she give somebody that had this problem? And I said, well, I'd use the Super Omega, I'd use the Eternity, I'd use the 4 Restore, and also the age pill.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, because the age pill, another thing that goes on in the brain is that the brain starts to get all this garbage, the cellular debris starts to accumulate in the brain.
It did in mine.
It did in yours.
It did. That's what you told me anyway.
I know, but I tell you lots of things.
Full of junk.
Full of junk.
No, remember when I used the age pill, I was doing double dose. It was literally 8 days. And I did something I couldn't do before, which was remember an 8-digit number and like put it somewhere. Like go, oh, here's the 8-digit number, and go over here and I'll type it in over here.
Right.
I could not do that. And it had been bothering me for like 3 to 4 years that I couldn't take a phone number and just stick it over there without going back and forth like 5 times. And I was amazed. And I called you up and I said, hey, how could this do this in 8 days? And you said, well,
8 days.
Got rid of some glycation in your brain, obviously.
Right. The glycated brain.
I had a glycated brain.
Yeah.
No longer.
So I think that as we look at the future, right, as we look to 2019, as we pull up our calendar for 2019, because that's one of the main things that people are worried about. Wouldn't that be one of the first things to start addressing? Just kind of, let's get on that. So, folks, that's product. Oh, and then I was going to add one more thing that we're going to talk about, which is the getting rid of inflammation. And you know what product works great for that?
Fucoidin. And then, of course, when the H2 comes out, that is another great thing.
Yeah, that H2 is going to be a game-changing product. It really is. So they took in a 2013 Gallup poll, 68% of Americans aged 65 and older took a multivitamin.
Yeah. I think people, they go like most of their life and they're not taking anything. They're just like, living life, and then they get up there and things start happening. They forget things, their eyesight's going, and all of a sudden they're like, oh, I probably need some vitamins.
Right? And they go, oh, what? I'm starting to lose my memory a little bit. What can I do? And they start taking something for it. I'm going to use my dad as an example. My dad, what does he do? Well, he goes to Walmart, and he sees what's on the label on a good product, and he goes there and he buys it on a product that they have, a no-name generic brand. And these commercially formulated products, there's no way that they can have the formulations of the critical nutrients that we have. And then you have the drug companies that make these products, and because they want to jump in the market too.
Yeah. Hey, you guys that happen to be watching right now, go ahead and put in comments down there if you know someone right now that has dementia. Go ahead and let us know.
And don't list Andrea.
No, don't list me. But let's do a little survey on here. Like, have them put in there. Yes, I know. How many people do you know that have dementia or Alzheimer's?
Right.
Go ahead and just put a number in there.
Right. Did you know that in the United States, 93%, this is based on a government study. This is a study that was published by the federal government. They say that 93% of people don't get enough vitamin E.
Oh, yeah. In fact, one of our club members here, Dr. Sandra, just sent me a whole email on vitamin E.
And they did a study. This was way back. I want to say 14 years ago. I remember reading this study, and you had one group that said that, oh, vitamin E was great. It lowered your risk of heart disease. And then there was another study that came out and said, oh, no, vitamin E causes heart disease.
They were wrong, right?
Well, they weren't wrong. They were actually wrong, because vitamin E can cause heart disease and get rid of it. You know why? Synthetic.
Right. There you go.
They found that the natural form of vitamin E actually helped with the disease, but they found that the synthetic form actually caused it.
Right. There's different qualities of vitamin E too.
So when you take a look at a lot of the commercially made vitamins, they use the synthetic form. Not good. 48% of people don't get enough magnesium. We were talking about magnesium. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's like half.
Yeah.
We might as well say half of people, 50%, don't get enough. 31% don't get enough vitamin C. Did you know that they're actually documenting cases of scurvy in our country again?
Really?
Scurvy.
Wow.
Right? Captain James Cook, he gave his sailors just a drop of lime juice way back in, how many years ago was that?
Oh, yeah, because the sailors died from it.
Yeah, that was way back when they didn't have airplanes, right?
Right.
A few years before that.
Rowboat.
Right, rowboats and sail ships, big sailing ships.
Mm-hmm.
And they started giving the sailors lime juice. That's why they called them limeys. They found, but they actually didn't document. That was like in the 1700s. But
yeah.
They actually didn't document what was actually being helped with the lime juice until the 1900s. Did you know that?
No, I didn't.
It took 300 years. Crazy, right? So we don't get enough from our the commercially made vitamins. We don't get enough from our food, all these different things. What's the answer?
Supplementation.
Right? A good supplement. A good
right.
supplement.
A good
right?
one. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a good supplement. And so it has to have all these different things. And even if you take the Sisel multivitamin, can you get everything you need from that?
Probably not. No. Because, it's like you've said before, it's like your car. It needs different things for different functions.
That's right. And so you have to take the different things. So that's why, folks, if you're listening to this, you find that I don't just talk about our multivitamin. I don't just talk about the brain vitality. I don't talk about just the age pill. You have to have a mix of all these different things. I think that as we move into the new year, Andrea, one of the things that I'm going to stress to people is that, if you're worried about, if you don't have a better thing, if you've never done the DNA test, which is on sale right now, a lot of these companies are doing these DNA tests where you can find out what kind of, they call them single nucleotide polymorphism, but you find out where the mistakes are in your genetics. If you haven't had that test, look at your family history. And if you have a family history or if you've got a health problem yourself, base what you're concentrating on that. Maybe cognitive function is a problem that runs in the family. Make sure never skip your doses of the ingredients that we talked about for that. In order to get the other things, right, maybe you take smaller dose of the other products along with that.
Right.
You're better off doing that than you are running to the store and buying a commercially made product.
Yeah, for sure.
A third dose of this is better than no dose of that.
Right.
That's kind of how I'm looking at it, is that we got to start looking at what can we do. 2019 is just around the corner, and a lot of people want to get healthy. And so I think after the first year, let's start talking about weight loss a little bit. Let's start adding more things. But today I really wanted to hit that, that top of the mind awareness, right?
Right.
What were those 3 words?
Cable, apple, and vinegar? No, cable, apple, penny.
Vinegar.
When I think of apple, I think of vinegar.
Bragg's apple cider vinegar. There you
Right.
go. What were the first 3 words?
Let me think.
I couldn't even remember. I had to go look.
Shoot. I don't know.
Village, kitchen, baby.
Yeah. I almost said village, but then I
Right.
went, that's such a weird word. That wasn't it.
What were the first 3 words then?
Village, apple, baby. Village, kitchen, baby.
That's right. You're non-demented. You're kind of demented in other ways.
Demented.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're demented in other ways, but at least you're not. You don't have dementia.
Right. Let's clarify that.
Well, hey, folks, Andrea and I have been having fun today with the Sisel Doctors Clinic call. If you could share this with people, let them know that I think we give some good information
I think so.
on good quality things that's going to change your life.
I've gone back in your Sizzle World team on YouTube and watched videos from like 2 years ago, a year ago. I mean, it's all great information.
Yeah, and we try to, go back and cover a few things, important things over and over and over again, because not only is it important, but I think that sometimes people don't go back into the library and to look at the old recordings, do they?
No, they don't.
Yeah. They're in the now. Everybody's in the now.
But it's in there, folks. So just go to Sizzle World Team on YouTube. Go ahead and subscribe. You just go down by that subscribe button and click it. And if you actually click on the little bell at the end of it, you'll get an email every time we post a new video in there. Doc posts a new video in there, and you can see the latest and greatest. I also want to mention, Doc, that thank you so much for putting out that newsletter that you put out each week. It is so nice that all of our information for the week has been compiled in one place, because this is what we do. We get busy. We can't make it to a call, or,
Right.
we got a couple hectic days and we miss out on some information. And it's so nice that it's all compiled in one place with us, with great graphics and, messages from you. So people can just go right in there and click on, you have the links right in there to take them to every call, every new piece of information that might be important to them, all in one place.
All in one place. Yeah, that's what I thought. A lot of times people, they just, like you said, they just get busy, they forget. So if you're part of the team, part of the Sizzle World team, you can't get the newsletter if you're not part of our team.
That's right.
One of the advantages being a member, right?
Right.
One of the advantages of being a member. So join us, join our team, and we'll help you out. You can do that if you want to join the team. Just get a hold of me through sizzleworldteam@gmail.com. If you're friends with Andrea, just let me know, and boom, I'll connect you with Andrea.
Yeah, whoever hooked you up with us,
That's right.
That person, they'll help.
Yeah, because I think a lot of people, they get worried that, you're going to steal my lead. No,
Nah.
we don't do that. What we're trying to do is we're trying to help everybody. Andrea, next Tuesday, I was just thinking, it's Christmas.
Oh, we should probably not have a call on Christmas.
We're not going to have a call next week. Wow. And then the next Tuesday, guess what day it is?
Is it the 1st?
New Year's Day. So guess what?
We're on vacation for a couple weeks.
Yeah. No call on. I mean, we could still do one on New Year's Day, but, chances are my eyes reach like this.
We might just take a couple weeks off, and we can stir up some really good information for that 3rd week out.
Yep. So it'll be January 8th.
Okay.
January 8th. You see
We'll
how
get-
fast I
we'll get
was
the
able
word
to.
out.
I didn't even have to look at my calendar. I just
Yeah, you pre-looked.
nope. I never did. I never did because I didn't realize it was Christmas until just now, and then I was like,
Ah,
we won't have a call. So everyone, Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to
Yes.
you, Andrea. Happy New
Merry
Year.
Christmas. Jingle,
Happy
jingle.
New Year. Yeah.
Happy New Year.
Yeah, have a great week, everyone. Have a great couple of weeks. Enjoy some time with your family. And let's look forward to the new year. What can we do to get everybody healthier than what they are?
Healthy, wealthy, and wise.
Optimum health in 2019.
Sounds like a great plan.
Optimum health 2019. All right.
Okay.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks,
Bye, guys.
Andrea. Have a great day, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye.